I'm Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.mahdishaheebsher.com. I think one of my interests in the world is the British and the British High Street. I think we lost the British High Street about 5 to 7 years ago with the collapse of Debenhams and a few other stores like Toys R Us, and there were BHS, and I think we lost a few other of the big high street chains. I think we lost something like 10,000 jobs and 10,000 shops around the country, and I think that saw the death of the British High Street with the collapse of those well-known high street shops like John Lewis and Debenhams and quite a few others. I think they all kind of collapsed at about the same time, and it is quite significant because it wasn't just one big high street chain collapsing. It was, I think there were about 10, around about 7 to 10 quite big, large high street chains collapsing. So we had Debenhams, BHS, John Lewis, and then there was Toys R Us, and I can't remember the others, but I think we had maybe a few others, and I think the number of jobs that lost could be up to 100,000, and I think the number of shops that closed could be about 10,000 or something, I'm not sure. But I think we had about 10 of these shops in each city, and I think there's 100 cities in Great Britain, so I think that there are quite a lot of shop closures in these cities in this country. So I think, unfortunately, around about that period, I think it was 2014 or 17. I think during that period, we did witness the end and the death of the British High Street. I think it's probably unable to recover from that because there were fairly long established retail chains. I think they had 100 years of history, so there were very much British shops. There weren't just shops, but there were British shops with British history, and I think that's why they were quite important shops. I think with the end of the British High Street and the death of the British High Street, we've lost some kind of retail psychology with the British. I think the British are known for their interest in shops, and I think we're seeing that disappear now as well. So that's something like maybe 1,000 years of British history, maybe to see this British history, this kind of psychology to associate with shops. I think that's quite important. I think the British people do identify with shops, and I think that there is an effect there with some kind of passing of all of these shops. Maybe 10,000 shops closing down, and having them on a high street could be very British. So I think that the British have lost their retail and high street, and this is quite significant. I think it's kind of seen in the culture that we see. I think when you walk down most high streets in city centres around the country, you see people primarily wearing Primark clothing, and that's the type of imagery that you see in the high street around the country. It's mainly type of ordinary looking British people wearing Primark clothing. So I think the high street does look different as well, and it does look different because of this closure of high street shops. So it doesn't look like the colourful, confident, fast walking high street that was maybe more controlled by normal shops. I think we're looking at budget retail and pound shops. So I think most of the high street around the British country, I think, looks like budget shops like Primark, and then we have Poundland and Savers, and then we have all of those pound shops, and there seem to be more pound shops than any other shops, and that seems very unusual as well. So I think that's what the British High Street looks like, some kind of pound shops. And that is a very striking contrast to how it was maybe 20 years ago, when it looked more ordinary, like the rest of the world. But I think it looks like Poundland now and Primark, and that is quite shocking to see and quite tragic. Thank you very much.